Shabbat Shalom. It's Ebrahimoff. Yes, the Haftorahman from Jerusalem. Live from where it happened and when it's going to happen. Here's what's going on. This Shabbat is Chazon Yeshayahu. A lot of times Shabbat is named after the Parsha. This week is named after the Haftorah. What Haftorah? This week's Haftorah, Chazon Yeshayahu. The prophet that has more Haftorahs than any other prophet is Isaiah, Yeshayahu. If we have about 80 Haftorahs, 20 of them are from Yeshayahu. Why is this man so important? If the Torah explains our history, Yeshayahu reveals our destiny. He lived in Yerushalayim. What's in his name? Yeshayahu. God, Yah, will save us. Yeshua, God will save us. And he lived in Jerusalem about 2,600 years ago. He was born in a time where Jewish people had the Beit HaMikdash, they had the Holy Temple, and he's warning the people to be careful and do teshuvah. Listen to what we were doing. Idolatry, avodah zarah, idol worshipping, adultery, I don't need to explain, murder. 3 out of the 10 commandments. And now what happens? It says, those 3 I could forgive you for, but the 4th thing, paying off judges, I can't forgive you for. It was the unraveling of society, when the people would pay money to have their brethren suffer. So Yeshayahu was warning the people of Israel to behave. They had to change their evil ways. So now, this week's Haftarah is the 3rd of the Telasa de Faranusa, the 3 weeks predicting the destruction of the Holy Temple. The first 2 weeks was Yirmiyahu. This week is Yeshayahu, Isaiah, and he's pleading with the people to avoid calamity. He's pleading with them. So it comes from Perek Aleph and Pasuk Aleph. Just a little bit more on who Yeshayahu was. By the time he was 25, he had his first prophecies, and he lived till 120. He had 3 children. One of them, She'ar Yashuv, the remnant shall return. He lived in Yerushalayim. He was a Kohen. He had access to the Beit HaMikdash. He had access to the palace of the king. This man, as if he was in Washington, D.C., could go into the Capitol and the White House. He had conversations with God, and God spoke to him. As in a great relationship, you communicate with each other, you collaborate, you lift each other higher and higher. Husband and wife, business partners. That's psycho-emotional. Spiritual side, Yeshayahu had a relationship with God. He meditated, he prayed, he connected to God, and God spoke to him. They were in a good relationship. So here, let's see what goes on in this book, in this Haftarah. Chazon Yeshayahu, the prophecy of Yeshayahu. And then it runs through Ben Amos. It tells you about his father. That means that his father too was a Navi, and that he doesn't have years. Hold on, please. He had been. They didn't have years on a calendar in those days. So how did they say what time it happened? It says Chaza al Yehuda v'Yerushalayim, the state of Judea and Yerushalayim, in the years of Uziyahu, Yotam, Achaz, and Yechizkiyahu. 4 kings. He was going for a long time being the spiritual leader. He was going for a long time being the rabbi of that time. Through 4 different kings' rules. And now he goes, listen to the heavens and the earth. Why? If he says, listen to this person, a person doesn't last very long. But the heavens and earth are eternal, and they last forever. And he says something, I've brought up children. God is speaking to Yeshayahu to speak to the people. I have brought up children, but I don't understand something. You guys are unique to me. I have never seen anything like this before. There's even a dumb donkey. If you hit it, it goes in the direction you hit it. If a donkey sees the water, it drinks from the water. But you guys, you have been beaten, welts from head to toe, and you still don't get it. God is trying to explain through Yeshayahu that the Jewish people are stubborn and they don't get it. The donkey is smarter than Am Yisrael. He says, and then you do your sins, and then you come to me, and you start offering up sacrifices to me, and you think like this crackling of the fat and the sacrifices is pleasing to my ears. It's nauseating. It's disgusting. I don't want to see it. And it explains from head to toe the Jewish people. The leadership is a saying that the fish stinks from the head down, and that the Jewish people stunk from the leadership on down. Now, what happens? He's pleading with the Jewish people, and he's saying to them, stop giving me any kind of prayers in my Beit HaMikdash. You come here on Shabbos, you think I want to hear your prayers? I don't want to hear it. Rosh Chodesh, which was similar in spiritual observance in those days, I don't want to hear it anymore. I want to wash my hands of you people. I don't want you to be worshiping anymore. Now, a Navi never leaves people, a prophet never leaves people on a down note. So what does he say? He says something very, very important that we say in Shmona Esrei every day, and that is, Hashiva Shavteinu Kevorishona. Watch. The biggest problem was the unraveling of society because they were paying off judges. So what does he say? Return us to the days where there was justice and righteousness, and a widow or an orphan that didn't have money had a fair chance in the day in court. So this is the encouraging words that Yeshayahu gave to the Jewish people right at the beginning of his book. Unfortunately, we didn't listen, and you know what happens from there. Big problems. Shabbat Shalom. I can't say enjoy the Haftarah, but at least understand what it's about.